It's your boy Trey. We back with another video. Today we are reacting to Bobby, cause Bobby thinks he can get away with killing his 90-day fiance. Oh my god. I hope y'all enjoyed this video and let's jump into it. It's crime time. Crime time.
This is Robert Arthur Moses, a 63-year-old divorced Air Force veteran and father to one adopted child. He's calm, composed, and highly cooperative in assisting with the investigation into the mysterious murder of his ex-wife. However, there is one thing he absolutely refuses to do: take a polygraph test.
I know you probably feel like you're getting drugged through the ringer right now, but we would like to probably set you up for a polygraph.
I don't know about taking a polygraph. I don't know anything about those.
By the time he sat for his second police interview, all that cooperation had gone out the window.
I don't know what you're talking about now, but it sounds like you're accusing me of something.
Little did he know, the cops already knew exactly why he refused to take the test. Anna Moses grew up in Almaty, Kazakhstan. But as soon as she turned 18, she moved to St. Petersburg to attend college, where she earned her bachelor's degree in economics. While living in St. Petersburg, two life-changing events shaped Anna's future forever. First, she gave birth to a baby boy and named him Igor, after her father. The second was meeting Bob Moses.
How'd y'all meet?
I met her in Russia.
Okay.
I went on a trip over there, and I met her over there, and we talked back and forth, and then I got her visa, and she came over here. Well, not here. I mean, we lived in Jacksonville, Florida at the time.
Right.
And we met.
Oh, my bad. I was trying to pause the video. I couldn't pause the video. But my question is, how old is she and how old is you? Because, like, something not matching up. I mean, her son looked 22, though. Not gonna lie. So, he probably had to be in his, like, 20s when he met her. I don't know.
We got married down there, and then we moved over here.
When did y'all actually move to Texas?
2004, I think.
Right.
Anna had no trouble adapting to the American way of life. Neither did Igor, who, despite being born in Russia, grew up as an average American kid. Bob adopted Igor as his son shortly after marrying Anna. However, once the family settled in Frisco, things began to shift. Anna became increasingly independent. She secured a job at the University of Texas in Dallas as the Assistant Director of Strategic Planning and Analysis, earned a master's degree in economics, and even began working on a second master's degree in data analysis. But as Anna...
She must be smart as heck, bro. What the freak? She going for 2? You must have been paying attention in school. Like, what?
Excelled in her professional and academic life, her relationship with Bob began to deteriorate. When asked about his divorce during his first interrogation, Bob had this to say.
Did y'all ever fight whenever y'all were married?
I mean, we had disagreements. I mean, that's kind of why we're divorced. I mean, we're kind of like opposites in some ways.
Okay, my bad. I'm pausing the video. This my last time pausing it. Y'all had disagreements. You mean you had a disagreement on what she said, and your physical thing was to hit her, and now you say to the police after she is gone that it was a disagreement. Man, you can't get better at lying.
Anything physical or...
No, nothing like that. I would never do something like that.
What Bob failed to tell the cops was that in December of 2012, he and Anna had a fight so intense that she hid in a closet and called the police. According to Anna's friends, she was terrified that her husband might kill her that night. Well, by March of 2013...
Oh, shit. We get into truth.
The couple had divorced, and Bob moved out of the house in July, shortly after his son's high school graduation. From that point on, things seemed to stabilize. Igor began attending the University of Texas at Dallas, or also known as UTD, and Bob and Anna stayed in touch as they worked together to support him through college.
You know, I give her a check, you know, every month for like helping him with the school and for his health insurance. We split the cost of his health insurance.
Okay.
He's on her plan at UT. At UTD, yeah, she works at UTD.
Now, while Bob remained single, Anna began dating a man named Michael Stadnik in early 2014 and made their relationship official that summer. However, exactly a year after they met, things took a dramatic turn. On the night of January 14th, 2014, Anna and Michael had planned to meet at her house for their weekly date night. But when Michael arrived, Anna didn't answer the door or her phone. The next day, Michael grew increasingly concerned when Anna didn't show up to work. Worried, he contacted the Frisco Police Department and requested a welfare check at her home. Upon entering the house, it didn't take long for officers to find Anna's body. Anna was discovered lying face down in the garage, still wearing her coat and scarf. Her purse and belongings were scattered all across the floor next to her, in a pool of her own blood. An empty Taco Bell wrapper and a few envelopes that she had been carrying were also found on the floor nearby. Forensic analysis revealed that Anna had been shot 7 times. She sustained a bullet wound to her neck, 2 to her chest, and 3 to her...
What? That is crazy. 7 times?
back. Additionally, a 7th bullet grazed her skin and ended up lodged inside her coat. Scrapes on both her hands suggested that she may have fallen to the ground or tried to defend herself during the attack. The scene was gruesome, but one crucial item was missing: Anna's car. As you can see, danger is lurking everywhere, especially in today's digital age. As we spend more time online, even our personal information can be stolen and sold on the dark web, making us easy targets for spammers, scammers, and identity thieves. And the worst part? They often face zero consequences for their actions. Have you ever been a victim of a data breach? Or maybe you don't even realize that you've been one. That's why it's up to us to protect ourselves. And that's exactly why I use Aura, today's sponsor. Aura keeps your... If someone tried... And that's not all. You can try them for Aura statements from Igor, Michael, Anna's friends, and, last but not least, her ex-husband. On January 15th, Bob Moses is brought to the police station, but he seems extremely confused as to why he's there.
We're going to ask you some questions, okay? And if you don't feel comfortable answering some of those questions, you don't have to, okay? This is all voluntary. You don't have to do...
I don't understand. What?
So, that's what we're trying to explain to you. You're not under arrest, okay?
Okay.
What we're trying to do is figure out information surrounding circumstances of Anna's death. And we don't know what happened or what led up to it, and that's what we're trying to talk to as many people as we can today.
Okay.
We've talked to Igor, we've talked to Anna's boyfriend, we've talked to some of her other friends, and we've talked to a bunch of people. So we're trying to figure out what happened, and maybe when the last time you saw her, spoke with her.
What happened? I mean, I don't...
We have good reason to believe that Anna was murdered.
Oh my God.
When asked about the day of the murder, Bob provides little to no detail about his activities. Instead, he tries to steer the conversation toward his roommates and himself, describing their jobs and daily routines. What's he trying to avoid talking about?
Let me ask you, let's start out by, where were you yesterday in the morning? From the time you woke up to...
Yesterday was Tuesday.
Yes.
I was at the house.
At the house? Okay.
Yeah.
So what were you doing while you were at home?
Just, not much really. I mean, what I do is I go around. We have the ability to look up places online and get their address so we know where they live.
Okay.
And then we find a neighborhood and then we go knocking door to door. I have a permit, from Frisco.
Okay.
I came here and got a listen permit or whatever it's called.
Yeah. To go do business.
Yeah, so we go do knock on people's doors
Yes.
and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, it's been like this for a couple of weeks now. It's been, especially the weekends. The weekends are the best time to get people out because it gets dark early.
Mm-hmm.
So we go, try to find, like, I'll go and walk through, like, the mall or Target parking lot or places like that and see people that have held them in their car, and then, we have a service online. We can look up where they live so we can go knock on their door. I wasn't really doing anything yesterday, watching TV or anything else. I mean, it's just...
What did you watch on TV? What you watched on TV?
Some of the football game. I went to Ohio State. So I was watching all about the football game, championship game that was on Monday.
Okay.
So I was just watching, stuff like that.
Okay. And then at some point, at 7:30 or 7, you went to Twin Peaks?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I mean, I go to Twin Peaks, I was there tonight, I go there, 2, 3, 4 nights a week sometimes.
Would you be like a regular there?
Yeah, they know who I am.
So you were there, what time would you say you were at Twin Peaks yesterday?
I usually eat dinner before I go, so I probably had dinner yesterday was Tuesday yesterday.
Follow the leader may soon become follow the lawmaker when it comes to playing the stock market. Tonight we look at a new app that allows you...
Yeah, I would say I went down there about 7.
Okay.
I don't necessarily,
Remember what you were wearing?
What was I wearing? I'm wearing probably these pants.
Okay.
I'll wear my Ohio State jacket because I want to win.
Is it bright red? Or is it got gray sleeves? What is it?
It's pretty much red.
Red?
It's got a lot of red too. It's got a big logo on it.
Okay.
I was going to win, kind of kid with people because nobody was giving me heck. They were saying, Oregon's going to beat you guys.
Right. Okay. And did you eat with anybody?
I sit at the bar.
You sit at the bar?
So I think I had a sandwich at the bar and a couple beers.
It takes him forever to recall basic details about the day of the murder, despite it being just the day before. Yet, when the detectives shift the topic to something that he's interested in, his responses come instantly. The detectives can see through him pretty fast. By the way, if you're finding this video interesting so far, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.
Facts, hit that like button. I just hit that like button for him. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Shoot. Turn on them post notification bells.
It really supports the channel. Now, let's dive right back in. Despite giving such a vague and contentless statement, he does answer 2 questions in extreme detail. The first one is this.
Did you drive at all by her house yesterday?
Her house? No, not yesterday.
Okay. When's the last time you were by her house?
Well, Ira was out of school, so I was over there, I don't know. Maybe it was last week.
Last week?
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. We went to the movie one day, so I went over and picked him up.
And the second one is this.
What happened to your hand there?
Oh, my dog, I was trying to put the covers on the bed this morning. He jumped up on the bed before I had the cover. I said, no, get down. I put him down. I went to it, and I ran into the desk, my room, the corner of the desk, and just kind of cut my hand there.
You mind if we look at that?
No, that's fine.
Is it like a scrape?
Yeah.
Okay. You get kind of swell up too?
Yeah. I just ran into the side of the desk, and it's like,
Okay. All right.
When you get older, man.
Yeah.
I feel it, man.
Yeah.
You're not even
I'm
close.
feeling it.
You just, I notice sometimes I just,
They know he did it. They know he did it. They know he did it. They definitely know he did it.
I just bumped into something. I cut my hand or something like
You
that.
take butt thinners or anything too?
No.
Okay.
Your skin just gets thinner, though. You can feel your skin is like thin and stuff.
Gotcha. Do you know of anybody who would want to harm Anna?
No, why would somebody want to harm Anna?
I'm just asking.
We don't know her,
We don't
so.
know her.
Yeah, I don't know. We've been divorced. when I moved in this house, I moved out of the house
Yeah,
last year. No, wait, no, that's the year before now.
yeah.
I don't really, since I moved out, I go over there to see Eager, and then, I give her a check, every month for like, helping with the school and for his health insurance. We split the cost of his health insurance.
Okay.
He's on her plan at UT. At UTD, yeah, she works at UTD. And so, I give her a check, or so sometimes I go over and give her the check. He may not be there, but most of the time I go there, it's just, maybe pick him up, take him to a movie, or go out to eat or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay, so you pretty much have told us that you didn't, that you spent all day at the house, and that you went over to Twin Peaks, and then you went straight home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't believe him. That's all I know. I just don't believe him.
Like I asked you earlier, is there any reason why either a witness or a camera had seen you or has got you on footage anywhere near her house?
No.
Okay. Are you responsible for her death?
No.
Okay. Do you know anybody who wanted her dead?
I don't know. Why would somebody want her dead?
Bob thinks that he got away with murder, but what he doesn't know is that playing dumb can't fool the cops. Or the DNA evidence. A few months later, they ask him to return to the station for another interview. What will happen this time?
All right, Bob, thanks for coming in and providing us a statement, and everything you've been doing today is voluntary, and we appreciate that.
Okay.
But look at your statement, this isn't going to be good enough, man. We need to dig a little bit deeper, we need to ask some more questions, okay? Because there's a lot of, this isn't nothing. This is nothing for me to work with. Yeah, I'm sorry. I especially right now, my mind is like, I don't remember what I did yesterday. And we've been respecting you, and we haven't been bothering you while throughout her burial process or anything.
I understand.
The funeral part's over, and we got to get on. We got an investigation.
Right.
And I'm trying to get as much information as I can from you right now. You've been very good. I fully expected you to consent to the polygraph and be able to get that done. You were saying that you don't want to do that, which is going to put a cloud over you, man. That's not sitting well with me at all, because you've been helping out, and then all of a sudden polygraph, it doesn't sit well with me one bit, and I got big shit to work with right here on this statement. I don't like it, and we need to figure out what's going on.
Unlike his first interview, where he remained calm and collected, Bob is now fully defensive. For another hour, he refuses to expand on his statements or agree to a polygraph test. His excuse is this.
I know a lot of people have agreed to do this, but it is a polygraph, and wanted to see if you'd be willing to submit to one. Actually, I've been advised not to take a polygraph. Okay. Okay. I've just been told that it's in nobody's best interest. I understand you asked for it, but I've been... Right. Here's the deal. Here's the deal with the polygraph. We don't... It's a tool. It don't... There's a reason why I was told not to do it. Okay. And it's... I know a guy who used to be a lawyer. He's no longer practicing law. And he asked me some questions and said, no, you shouldn't take one. And I'm just going to go by what he said.
No, and I understand and respect that. Right. And I guess our deal is we're using it as a tool. We don't put all our weight on that.
Right.
Hell, we don't even use that.
Right.
We just it's a tool for us.
Right.
Because here's the deal. When we look at your statement, it's very vague, man.
Right. No, I understand.
And we need, in order for, I think, the proper steps to be taken to probate stuff.
Right.
In the end, they're going to need to know shit, be able to say, hey, man, look at this guy. He's got a big ass hole in his statement. Right. And that's going to help us, man. Right. That's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to, if we don't need to spend any more time talking to you, we don't want to do that anymore.
No,
and that's just where we're coming from. It's just, it's a tool for us to eliminate you.
It's not admissible in court or anything like that. I understand that. Let me just tell you exactly what the guy told me, not in great detail, okay? he asked me some questions and advised me not to take it. And he told me the reason why. I can't share that with you, obviously, but he gave me a legitimate reason why not to. It has nothing to do with what you're trying to do.
Is he a polygrapher?
No, he's a retired lawyer.
And I understand that, but I mean, did he do criminal law?
Again, I'm not going to, go in depth on it because I just have.
No, I understand that.
As detectives push harder, Bob becomes increasingly tense, but he still won't cooperate. What is he trying so desperately to hide?
Okay.
So Anna was murdered.
Yes.
So when I get this, I mean, it's not like a baseball was stolen out of some store.
Right.
We're working a murder, and people are doing their best. Everyone else is bending over backwards to accommodate us, and now we're catching. I don't know. I don't keep track of every minute or every day.
I know.
And that's why
I can't tell you where I was at 2 o'clock yesterday.
In an effort to break through, the cops try to appeal to him, describing him in a positive light. Will this strategy work?
I'd hate for somebody to be keeping you from being able to clear your name.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because until then,
Right.
because of the statement you've given us, it's it's very vague. And everybody else's is like boom, 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 boom.
Right.
And yours is like this big gaping hole.
Right.
And we need to close that thing up, man.
Right.
I mean, this is an excellent way to do that.
Right.
Excellent way.
Right.
I mean, you're a grown man, and I know you're, you can make your own decisions. I fully see that.
Right.
I mean, you're a military guy.
Right.
You know, you went to college. You're a smart guy.
Right.
You know, you've made it in the business world.
Right.
And I'd hate for somebody to influence you when what's at stake is clearing your friggin' name, because it's not him that's sitting in your chair.
All right, but let me explain something to you. What you just did, I'm a smart guy.
Yeah.
In business, everything I've done, I've relied on people who know more than I do about certain things.
Yeah.
I've always used their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's his opinion, okay? And I have to take it at his value. I don't know anything about the test, okay? I have to take his word as to what he told me.
Right.
Okay? And I'm going to take his word for it.
I understand that. And like I said, before, it's not about asking you stupid.
Right.
It's about bare bones.
Look, I fully understand that's what but I've been told not to, okay? So you're not going to change my mind,
Right.
okay?
Well, I'm not.
When somebody who I consider to have a professional, expertise in something, gives me their opinion on something, I'm going to take their opinion, okay? And he just advised me, you really don't want to do that, okay?
However, things take a turn once they begin asking about Anna's car.
My friend recently asked me for some money and I was like, why aren't you using Empower? When I need cash and my paycheck is gone, I just use Empower and you should too.
When's the last time you drove her car?
I couldn't say for sure. I know it hasn't been too long ago because I did some work at the house and I had to move her car. So,
do you remember why you had to move her car?
I had to move it because we had to do something to garage something. I don't remember exactly, okay? I mean, I couldn't honestly tell you the last time I drove her car.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Is there any reason, like I said, a lot of this stuff, like the car, we've had it analyzed.
Right.
It's in the process of being analyzed for evidence.
Right.
Is there any reason why your blood would be inside of her car?
Not that I can think of now.
What?
Not that you think.
There's blood inside her car that matches him. What?
No. Okay.
It's getting crazy, Chad.
We found
It's
blood in
getting
her car.
crazy.
And we have a good reason to believe that it's not hers. Now, we have a good reason to believe that it's not hers.
Anna's car, which had been missing from the crime scene, was discovered abandoned just hours after her body was found. Inside, detectives found 2 fresh bloodstains. The DNA in those bloodstains belonged to Anna and Bob. The question is, though, how did Bob's blood get there?
For real?
The real mystery, however, is why Bob would murder his ex-wife. When detectives start asking about his finances, they uncover a crucial piece of the puzzle, one that confirms their hypothesis.
How are you making money?
that way. Plus I have Social Security,
Okay, how much of a Social Security check are you getting?
like about $1,600 a month.
$1,600 a month. And I guess, okay, how much does it cost, how much does your rent cost?
$600.
$600 a month. Okay, and how much is your car payment?
Like $269.
$269. Did you finance for 5 or 6 years?
I couldn't tell you right now.
What dealership do you get that through?
I got it through a wholesaler.
Wholesaler? Okay. And how much does it cost to fund, I guess, Iger's insurance?
What insurance?
Or whatever insurance that y'all
What
pay
you
for?
pay to Anna
Yeah.
for Iger.
What do you pay for?
Oh, Anna has health insurance with Eager on it. And I pay for part of that. I give her a check for part of that.
Do you know how much that is?
How much is it? No, that's... What part you give her? It's part of what I give her.
Okay.
And I don't know how much that part is. I don't know the exact amount, no.
If you could guesstimate, what would it be? 500, 300, 100?
His monthly insurance?
What, the portion that you pay to Anna?
I think his part is about $300 or something like that.
Are you on Anna's insurance too?
No.
And then, I guess, 600, that includes all utilities,
Utilities, everything, yeah.
Okay, okay. And how much would you say you make from the company? How much would you say they've paid you or a month?
I don't know, it's a 1099, you just get a
Contract.
Contract.
Have you gotten it yet this year?
No, I haven't gotten it yet.
Would you say that you made, how much would you guesstimate that you made this year from that company?
This year, 2015?
No, 2014.
Oh, 2014?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea, but I had other jobs in 2014.
Is it commission-based, or is it,
Yeah,
do you get a salary?
Yeah,
Or?
it's a 1099.
Okay.
1099, you just do perform a service, they pay you a commission. They
So-
take taxes on it.
So if you go and you get someone to sign up to get their car, let's say it's a four-door passenger car.
Right.
They go and get that, sign, let's say it's not some high-end
It doesn't
business.
matter, it goes on the
Toyota.
value of the hail damage. You get a percentage of what the...
What is that percent? So if it was $1,000,
Let's say, no, most hail damage is like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Okay, so they just have a formula where, okay, let's say the insurance company pays $4,000. They subtract out certain costs and they give you a percentage of the net gross.
Do you know what that percentage is?
Yeah, 20%.
20%?
So it just depends on the car. I mean, you could, a car that has $5,000 worth of damage, you could make $800, $900 on it. Okay, it just depends. But I've only been doing that for a little while. I had a job before that.
Where was that at?
It was a call center down in Dallas.
Okay.
That was back in like July or June, something like that.
How much would you guess that you made last year? Just do a roundabout guess. I'm not going to hold you to a number.
I have no idea. Until I get my statements from them, I have no idea.
Like 40,000 a year, 20,000?
Honestly, I don't know until I get them.
Bob was making little to no money on his job. Plus, a quick search proved that he had multiple credit cards, all maxed out. While all that happened, Anna had several thousands of dollars in her account. And her life insurance policy was worth $750,000.
Oh yeah, he was going for that check. I'm telling you, people that find, like, people that's trying to succeed, bro, their net worth go up after they get out of school. And then when they get that good job, years fly past, boy, they get their net worth up. I promise you.
The statements from Anna's friends and colleagues didn't help Bob either, as they all affirmed that he became really interested in Anna's accounts, passport, jewelry, passwords, and other documents right after her death. As a matter of fact, at the beginning of this second interview, it was Bob himself who asked first about Anna's will. He didn't know it then, but he was screwed right from the start.
I do have a couple of questions. You guys said you might help us a little bit. We're looking to see if Anna has a new or newer will. And in the paperwork that was left at the house, they said they took documents from the house.
Okay.
Is there any way to check and see? Well, the old will was...
If there's a new one, or I don't know if it's the same or if there's a new one or what. So
That's what I don't know.
That's
Okay. I know what the old one says because we did it. What is the one that you guys did? What did that say? Well, basically, I gave my stuff to her, she gave her stuff to me, and then Igor was next, and then Grandma was after that. Okay. Okay. I mean, it's kind of a standard will. Yeah, right. So, I mean, so I don't know, we just need to do that because eventually we need to get a lawyer and probate the estate.
Gotcha.
The cops know that he's lying. First, they ask about a sale he made. Watch as his reaction escalates more and more.
Well, I can tell you what I know. And I know on Wednesday you were selling some silver coins at the gold exchange. Do you remember that? Yes, I do. Okay, so I've been doing my job. I've been following up, and you give me this. You said you were at home all day, so now, okay, I was at the gold exchange selling some coins. What was that for? I was selling off some of my coins. What were we selling them off for? Did you need the money, or what is this relevant to?
It's relevant to a homicide investigation. I don't know what part of that you don't understand. I don't know what, and that's the thing with me, this whole deal is everybody else that we've talked to, cooperative. I'm being cooperative. Well, I know that, but they don't follow. Now you're trying to make it out like I didn't know what I was talking about there. Sure you are. Because I didn't happen to remember I went on Wednesday to sell those coins, okay? That like I said, my mind's in a fog. I don't remember everything I did. And now you're going to make it out like I didn't tell you something that I did. And I didn't remember I did that. These people do things and don't remember them all the time. Okay? Sure. And now you're making it out like...
I mean, I remember some things all the time. Probably not when I was younger, but or like a few years from now, but I remember something.
That statement's not correct.
Well, the thing is we're asking you significant things that you've done that day. Making $1,300 or $1,400, that's significant, bro. That's something.
$1,400? Yeah, you made $1,700 selling those coins back. No, I did not. You're badly mistaken. So, it's like $300. It's a place right down there on 121 in Preston. There's no way I made that kind of money. So, is this receipt not accurate? $1,300? No, I didn't get $1,300.
That's what it says.
That's about as much as you just doubled up your monthly income off that. 1/5/15. 1/15. So the Thursday. No, this says the 15th, which is Thursday. Thursday. And on Wednesday, you were calling them. Do you remember calling a bunch of places asking about where you can go get gold and silver? Yeah, I probably checked out some prices.
Oh, they on his ass. They on his ass. They get into you, boy.
But I didn't get $1,300. There's no way I got $1,300.
Well, that's what it says on the receipt.
Well, I don't care what it says in the receipt. I'll go talk to them right now.
Okay.
They paid me in cash, and they didn't give me $1,300. I don't know why they're saying this.
Well, that's what they're claiming.
How much did you get? About $340 or so. Look, you can take the value of the coins that they have listed here, and you'll see that that's not $1,300.
Was it that bag of coins?
What I did was I thinned out the old ones that are only worth the silver value. Gotcha. You see there's other ones still in there. I kept the ones that have the value. Okay. I was just thinning out the ones that were old, and you're not going to get anything but silver for me, and they have no value as far as the coin goes. And this is a detailed explanation. And that's what we'd expect from our folks. Right. Because we've confronted you with this, and you're explaining it. Right. Because they have the information right here. No, I mean, absolutely. But I think, that, whenever we're asking you stuff about
Bob's I don't knows could not take him further along his lies, so he walks away from the situation.
I don't know what you're talking about now, but it sounds like you're accusing me of something. I'm just trying to do my job, man. I'm trying to talk to people and figure out what's going on. Yeah, I don't have any more to say. You're going to start accusing me of something. We have accused you. You just did. I did. Well, you know what? It sounds like it to me, okay? And, you know, we're fact finders, okay? I know we're finding the facts. We're finding facts right now. Okay. But don't start saying things about that to me. That's not correct. Okay? That's not fabricated. We didn't make that up. Well, somebody did. No. That's not correct. Here's the deal, though, Bob. So I don't understand. We didn't make that up, Bob. We didn't make it up. We didn't make it up. Somebody made the amount wrong. Somebody put your name. I'm not saying my name isn't correct on there. I'm not saying I didn't sign that. I'm saying that amount isn't correct. Why was there signing that? I don't know if the amount was in there when I signed it. Okay, I didn't. You're smart enough not to do that. I don't know what the amount was in. You're making it hard for me to find the facts, Bob, because you can't tell me. I'm not trying to make it hard for you to find the facts. We're talking about somebody you cared about for a long time. You know what? I'm done talking to you. I'm done talking to you. Okay? Because I don't know everything I did that day.
Did they get him though?
Okay? We're not twisting anything around. We're here to tell you the facts. Help us understand. Hang on, I'm going to tell you one thing. Okay. You told me I did that on Wednesday the 14th, and I looked in there the 15th. So you are twisting the facts. I'm done. That's what I mean. I'm not a mistake. You said that. That was on the remember the clause right here.
In the end, what sentenced Bob was his lack of creativity to come up with a lie. There were several things, however, that could have saved Bob from being sentenced. For starters, the murder weapon was never found. Inside Anna's car, there was a pack of cigarettes and an empty Red Bull can, which didn't match his DNA. But still, his very empty statement on the day of the events weighed more. Plus, his refusal to take a polygraph test and the economical benefits that he would have received from the murder made the case all too obvious to the judges. So, in November of 2016, Bob Moses was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of his ex-wife.
Dang, buddy, you're gone. You're gone. You took that life decision. But if y'all enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, turn on them post notifications, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.